each has its own. So I feel like I can't be like, oh, I love Rolex, or I love Panerai, or I love specific watch or this model. With time, obviously, I started falling in love with different types of watches and jewelry. I'm still trying to see what I want. Yeah.
Hello, Fajer. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How are you feeling?
Good.
Great.
Okay.
So tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? Who's Fajer?
Okay, so I'm the girl with watches. Just to let you know that I think people know me as the curly girl with the Panerai.
Okay.
So I think that's the main important point. I'm a content creator and a brand marketing specialist.
All right.
I do what I love, and I also love watches and jewelry. I'm not a collector nor a seller, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that, Sim? Because that's the statement that you have on your account.
Yes. So usually people come into my account and ask me for the prices of the watches that I wear or promote or showcase.
Okay.
Which I don't do. I'm not a seller. I just put my passion out there. I like to share what I like, for example, jewelry, what I wear with my watches, so straps, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Why not? Because I honestly would consider you to be a collector. So why not collector? I understand the not seller part, but a collector.
Not a collector because it's not on a frequent. It's not something that I do frequently.
Right.
So from time to time, if I'm interested or if I found something that suits my wrist, why not?
Okay.
I think that's my statement for that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask a question to elaborate if you're a collector or not.
Okay.
Do you treat yourself with a watch if you have a milestone in your life, or is it something else?
Sometimes, yes.
What
Jewelry
percentage?
or watches.
Ah, you're a collector.
Yeah,
Boss.
that's okay.
No, you're a collector. I'm considering you to be a collector.
Hello.
She likes it or not. She's like,
Yeah. But I moved the chair. Did you guys hear it?
yeah, it's fine.
عادي. Okay. I don't want to say I'm a seller nor a collector. So I'm the person who has passion for watches and jewelry. So if you check out my account, it's more of things that I love to wear with my outfits. I style them with straps and so on.
So how did you start getting into watches? So what's your story with watches? Why did you get into them?
Okay.
Where did it all start for you?
Okay, so my first watch, which was the Rolex Yacht Master, this was my first watch. I wasn't 100% into watches, or I wasn't let's say educated about watches.
Okay.
But then after a while, I understood that I cannot leave the house without a watch,
Okay.
or earrings, or a ring. So it came like an essential.
All right.
So it became something that I have to wear. And with time, obviously, I started falling in love with different types of watches and jewelry. Like you see, maybe I do have a few different types of watches from different brands.
Okay.
Yeah, and it started growing. I was very young when I actually got this watch, so
What age, if you don't mind asking?
I was in grade 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michelle, cool.
Yeah.
All right, now what really intrigued us was your left for Panerai. And
Yes.
honestly, this is the closest wristwatch check. It's a Bell & Ross,
Yes.
but I tried Panerais. I couldn't pull it off, but I'll be very honest and not sugarcoating. You pull it off ever so elegantly,
you so
but
much.
how did it transition from a
very small watch.
Yeah, 32 millimeter
Yes.
Rolex Yacht Master
Yes.
to a Panerai?
Honestly, I just fell in love with this watch. I saw it a few times at the boutique, and I came in. I asked him. I'm like, I'm interested in this watch and stuff. And I knew the watch because it came through the family. My dad would wear it. My brother would wear it. So before it became so trendy in Kuwait, or people knew about the watch, I also got interested.
Okay.
People don't know the watch. It's different. I don't have to wear what my friends wear. So with time, I was like, I need to check this out. I did. I went in, I tried, if I'm not mistaken, the Dew, and it was really small on my hand, and I was like, oh, I love it. But then I was like, no, it's not the watch, and I and this showed up, and I was like, wow. But then I was like, this is the watch. I connected to the watch right away, and I thought this was it. And how regarding the size, I think, يعني, it was a risk that I took regarding size compared to the watches.
From what I understand, you have one of each collection of Panerai, or each category of Panerai. Is that, am I not mistaken?
Yes, so I have the Luminor and
Okay.
the Submersible.
Okay.
So they're both 42, and yeah, these are my two.
Which one's your favorite?
The 535, of course.
Yeah?
I'm wearing it today.
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks dope. Panerai, again.
Yes.
It's to choose this type of watch, you're not choosing it for the fashion alone, as well as the practicality. Was that your thought process going into this watch?
Not really.
Okay,
Honestly,
so I'm
لا.
mistaken here.
لا.
But it just shows because
'cause,
for one
yeah.
to choose this, it goes into the practicality of it.
يعني, honestly, look, I do wear my watch on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay. But sometimes, for example, I'd wear it to a wedding or a
Okay.
special occasion. So I don't want to say it's just for like the practical daily life. It becomes something that I want to put on my wrist on a daily basis, as well as an event. Then again, I think the straps
Okay.
kind of play a role. So let's say I'm wearing a steel strap, for example, or a
Okay.
rubber strap, or a leather strap. Each strap gives the watch its يعني, different look.
Okay.
I think it's not, I didn't take the watch because, oh, it's practical or, yeah.
Well, actually, let's go to another question because, you know, what's your take of the women's or the women's scene in terms of the watch industry? Because usually women who still like it as a fashion statement like the practicality of it, so they're
Yeah.
more inclined towards quartz.
Yes.
But do you see that shifting in your crowd or internationally? So what's your take on that?
Yes, I feel like women are, like you said, more aware now that okay, now I need something more practical, something more bulky maybe, something that I can wear anytime, any minute, and so on. I feel like there's more awareness to this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's much it.
All right, cool. So I see you have a tag, but
Yes.
let's talk about the Cartier. What's the story behind this one?
Honestly, I don't recall. يعني,
Okay.
I think this was a gift from my mom or something. I have to remember.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny now because we were talking about
I
how
love it.
men are associated with
Yes.
the Dumont, but of course it's a very famous model.
Yeah.
We have a lot of iterations,
Yes.
especially now. But again, very beautiful watch.
It's also a
as well.
discontinued one, so I like it because it's special.
Okay, cool.
More
And
special.
These three are discontinued.
Yes.
Are these two discontinued?
This one is, yes.
All right.
But this one, لا, يعني, I feel like they're actually coming back to it.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. They call it the Dream Watch, but let's call it the Holy Grail. What's your Holy Grail watch, or you're aspiring to get?
Good
Or,
question.
or some, actually a
Good
watch?
question.
Okay, cool.
Still, I think I'm still trying to see what I want. يعني, again, I'm not a collector, so I'm still discovering the watch world. يعني, I do take what I like.
Okay.
If it's on spot, oh, I'm gonna take this.
Okay.
I don't have like a dedicated or my favorite watch or this is the watch of my dreams. Although I would love to have something that's jewelry.
Okay. Maybe, okay, let's not talk about watch. What about a brand? Is there a brand you're aspiring to get? The traditional one, more Grand Seiko-ish, Patek?
Thinking.
Richard Mille.
Richard Mille?
maybe. لا, but there's no specific, like I feel like each watch or each brand has its own direction or it has its own style or sense of يعني, each has its own. So I feel like I can't be like, oh, I love Rolex or I love Panerai or I love specific watch or this model. أحس when I go and I try it and I connect, that's when I feel like that's the time where I can say, okay, I love this watch. I'm gonna aim for it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. What about let's rephrase the question.
Yeah.
I technically know the answer to this because we spoke before we sat down. But
Yeah.
a watch that you had to forego that you would wish to get back.
Okay.
We won't say maybe not watch regret. It's an incident, but
Yes.
you can talk about it.
Actually, my Panerai, the ceramic. I forgot the model of it, but
Okay.
it was the best watch I ever owned. It stood out on my wrist, although it's not a 42. It was, I think, a 45 or 48, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And honestly, it was the best watch I literally had. يعني
Alright.
it came very nicely. I carried it perfectly on my wrist.
Okay.
And I had to do a few switches here and there, and I took my submersible.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
You think we'll ever get back?
I wish.
All right.
I don't know. I'm
Hopefully.
still
So I guess that's
thinking.
the dream watch. We got the answer.
Yes, yes.
We got the answer, but in indirect way. All
Okay.
right. So Fajer, we talked about your watch collecting hobby. Okay. So we're going to consider you as a watch collector. But what are your other hobbies? What do you like to do? What are your other passions? Because our channel is about passions, watches amongst other things.
Okay, so I'm into content creation. So I'm in love with taking my camera around, my phone, taking videos, pictures. So also, if you notice, my account is full of the content that I actually create. So I'm passionate of that.
Okay.
I do play sports. I'm a squash player,
So,
a
Gone to
ballerina. Not yet.
okay, cool.
Not soon.
All right.
Also a ballerina.
Interesting.
I think that's mainly what I do. Yeah.
I think the title should be Ballerina with Panerai.
The curly girl.
Yeah, curly girl.
Ballerina.
Curly girl ballerina with Panerai. So we should do that.
Yes.
All right. So in terms of, is traveling a passion or a hobby?
يعني it's fine. I do it from time to time. So it's more of lifestyle. So it's not a hobby, you can say.
Okay.
Yeah. Hobby is more like something I do on a daily basis. So like I said, content creation for me is like my OTD, content for my other account. I don't know
Okay.
if you've come across it.
Yeah.
Only one with curls.
Yes.
I think people know me for that more than girl with watches.
Yeah.
But two different audiences.
Now
So
we'll make sure people know you for
this
this audience.
please, yes.
What would you consider to be your go-to watch? Is it the one on your wrist?
From my collection.
Yeah, from your collection. Is it not here even?
Uh,
What's your easy pickup, go or travel watch
Yes.
maybe?
Okay, so it's my 535
All right.
as well as my Rolex.
Okay.
I think these two really suit my travel style. Although my Rolex is much easier to maintain through the trip. I have to take it off every 5 minutes in case of checking in and I don't know what.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to wear leather, especially that I'm not into rubber.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think just having a more flexible, easier watch is better for me. So I try to like stick between the Rolex and the Panerai.
All right. Cool. Now you mentioned that people have or inquire about certain watches in your collection, and it was the ceramic one which got you into.
Yes.
Not hitting the nail in the coffin, so to speak. But what's the amongst again your collection or the ones that you have at home? What's the most watch that you get inquired about, or not necessarily on social media, but maybe on a daily basis, or did that ever happen?
I think, honestly, it depends. I think either my submersible
Okay.
or my 535.
All right.
So it's between those two.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm a female wearing this type of watch, so they always ask me like, why did you choose this big watch on your wrist?
Okay.
Or like شنو السبب? So I'm just like, it looks good on my wrist. I connect to it, so why not?
Okay. Is it mostly men or women who
Yes,
inquired?
men. I think women are trying to
Adapt
to it, and
Okay.
they actually, I've seen a lot of women wearing Panerais recently.
Yeah.
حتى when I visit the boutique, they're like, yeah, we showed them your picture. They know you. They want to copy you. You know, like
Oh, cool.
not copy, like they're more inspired by how you wear your, يعني your Panerais. So
All right. Again, you said that mostly guys inquire about these watches. Okay, but what would be your advice to women
yeah.
who are getting into watchmaking or who want to get a watch or treat themselves? What would you advise them to do? Would you advise to go classic? Actually you
Okay.
just give the advice.
So my main advice to all women, okay, if it's your first, your fifth, your whatever watch you're getting, just make sure that you connect to your wrist. You look at it, you see it. Are you interested in it? You're the one who's gonna wear the watch, not your friend, not your mom, not the salesperson. You're gonna wear the watch. So you need to connect to this watch for you to be able to, يعني, like feel this is the right watch. I do suggest women looking into different brands, not just Rolex or any like Cartier, for example, or any basic brand that we are so used to. Look at something different. You might stand out differently. And I do suggest always to connect to your watch. Give yourself some time. Don't rush. Especially if you're starting your own collection or you're planning to become a collector. يعني take it slow. Just relax, enjoy your wrist, and enjoy it. Yeah.
Really well said, honestly. Okay, what brands would you recommend? I know Panerai, but amongst other brands that you said, okay, look into other brands. What other brands would you recommend? Top 5.
Top 5. Okay, first of all, I think Panerai would be one.
All right.
My current plan, inshallah, maybe, I don't know, I'm not collecting, is Gerald Charles.
Okay,
I think that would be very beautiful on a female's wrist. يعني.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think I need to يعني it's different from person to person. I cannot tell you, wallah, A, B, C, you have to choose this.
Okay.
يعني I find women, for example, Hublot, like people look at it, they're like, oh, I don't like this watch, although it's a beautiful watch.
Yes.
Don't look at it, it's not worth it, and so on. I think that's also a brand that I'd consider. Three wide brands. You can just sit there and just point out brands. Yeah, I think these are my top 3.
Okay, this actually leads to another question.
Yes.
A lot of questions. Do you do your research before you buy the watch, or is it just a matter of connection and I just buy it, or I like it but let me read about it and then I come back to it? So how's your purchase process?
Look, honestly, I'm not into reading about it.
Okay.
I do, sometimes maybe I'd like to know about details, specific details about the watch. But for me, again, like you said, I'd rather connect to the watch, see how it fits on my wrist. If I like it, I'll think about it 1, 2, 3, 4 times and then say this is the watch.
Okay. Do you care about movements?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think this was a part of one of the strong movements, I guess.
Okay.
But again, for me, it's not a lot. يعني عادي. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
cool.
I don't have to follow the trend.
Yeah, because
majorly.
Panerai, they had certain
movements.
They're known for using ETA move and so on and so forth. For one, I don't really care much. As long as it's a workhorse and serviceable, that's fine with me. But a lot of people prefer in-house and all that stuff.
I'm not 100% on that. Yeah.
Cool.
As long as it suits my outfits, looks amazing on my wrist. I can look at the time and tell time.
Okay.
That's more than enough.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking the question behind the big man behind the camera, Sulaiman. What is your car of choice? Are you into cars? What do you drive? So talk a bit about cars now, not watches.
Okay, I am interested in cars.
Okay.
Watches and cars,
yeah.
Yes. I do drive a Maserati GTS, 2010, so it's kind of also discontinued. So if you notice
you like
the discontinued situation.
Being different,
yes, I love that. What else? I do like classic cars. So it depends. I'm not into the whole engine situation, but I like to hear the engine work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think when we did this first interview with me and now with Fajer, there's that level of consistency between watches and cars. So being unique and different, and the engine, I think it transcends to your collection.
Yeah.
Me, I'm into.
So I drive Italian and wear Italian.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, so
sometimes.
You're a fan of Italy?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. When I went to Florence, I think the main boutique of Panerai is in Florence, in Firenze, I think they call it. That was my. That's what made me want to buy a Panerai.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
But then I ended up buying a Tudor Monte Carlo because that I think was more associated to Italy for me. Okay, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oops.
It's there. You've not seen them?
I'm not gonna see them. Okay.
All right. So we talked about Sulaiman's passion. My passion, Japanese watches. You've not seen them yet. We kept it behind the camera. So I want to know what's your feedback on these two watches. It's a Kurono Tokyo and Tokyo edition and the Four Seasons Grand Seiko. All right. So I want your feedback. And be honest.
Okay.
You like them?
You
it's
wanna
not
judge
your
them.
choice. Judge them on first sight. Do you
Okay.
connect with them? Don't you?
I think I connect with this one more.
The Kurono Tokyo.
Yes, I've seen this a lot.
Okay.
It's interesting, especially that it doesn't have any numbers on, like nothing on the dial.
Okay.
And the dial is beautiful, and it's simple, and
Yes.
it's small.
Yeah.
Okay. This one for me, I feel like I can see this on a daily basis.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, I feel like okay, it's beautiful. The dial is beautiful, but not me.
Not you. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one wins, especially
Cool.
that it also has a leather strap. So
Yeah.
I think I also connect with leather sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like this because it has that makeup nude color.
Yes.
Which I find to be very. I've not seen this type of salmon color on any other watch.
Yeah.
So I do have other editions, but I felt like maybe it would be the most impressive that I could impress
Yes,
you with.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So again, Fajer, it's an honor to have you as our first guest, and potentially, I think maybe it's going to be the first video that officially comes out. That's number one. A big shout out to Watches in Wonderland. We're gonna add her account as well, Sheikha, for referencing Fajer. She's amazing. You're amazing. Check out her account. She has a really cool, unique collection as well. Hopefully, Fajer is an inspiration to all women and to you to join us here as well one day. But really, Fajer, you're like when we were talking about it and. We wanted like people who can inspire, people who can break the stereotypes in sort of sense of in different genres and different genders and different choices. So the fact that you were different and unique really made us excited to have you here today.
Thank you so
and
much.
again, we are honored. Thank you for your time. We hope anything.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited to be a part of this. Honestly, it's something different for me to share a passion like my watches and jewelry.
Okay.
Especially on something different.
All right.
Showing my face, because I think Girl with Watches is more of a curious character.
Okay.
So, thanks guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And stay tuned. Footage, bloopers, whatever. Just stay tuned.
Yeah.